All right. I haven't done these in a while, so I want to get back to them. Chapter 7 of It's the Manager. So if you don't have a physical copy of It's the Manager, recommend Kindle. I'm using Kindle these days. Chapter 7 on why culture matters. So for me, obviously the headline is the culture has a direct impact on performance. And I think that most leaders today think that culture is simply people feeling warm and fuzzy or happy or liking in a time when everyone's looking to figure out how to use technology to make things more efficient. I actually think culture's ended up being more important. It's going to end up being a bigger issue because at the end of the day, culture is about the unspoken rules of engagement between each other. And so the more direct and honest a team leader can be or a CEO can be about culture and the changes to culture, the more likely people then can make informed decisions about whether or not they want to opt in on that. I think I want to call this out because even Gallup's book, written when it was written, was about, hey, assessing how much are you focused on culture? I actually think it would be a fair comment to say that almost every company in the world is renegotiating the relationship between the vision of the company and the culture they have created. I think a lot of times they're going to discover that a team culture in the setting that got them here is going to have to change. They're going to have to renegotiate that as more tools come in. I think about some of the clients that we work with, and some of you are from those companies. You may find that the nature of whether or not you use tech is that a sellout. Well, then, so guess what? If you don't embrace AI and agentic models and bots and tools and systems that use AI because you're afraid of what it'll do to jobs, will that make you less efficient in completing your mission, which might be to solve problems for a certain population? So what's important? Hey, we only do things. There's a reason why artisan materials are made by hand. Well, because they're not trying to reach a whole broad audience. They're trying to deliver a product in a very specific way. Those are different things. And so the company has to be clear about the mission. Does the company exist to continue to deliver an artisan product, let's say, handmade, very specific, very bespoke, very crafted, in limited quantities to a limited audience? If that's the mission, then you need to make sure that you're not simply replacing human beings with tech or taking actions that drive based on efficiency, not based on artisans and processes and trainings and delivery. If, however, you're trying to help a great number of people in a variety of settings with a variety of products, your priority might be then, we only deploy human beings in places where we can't have the efficiency of technology. And you got to be clear about that. I think you have to own it. And so ultimately culture and the relationship to culture, we need to be honest about what our nature of relationship. And I find that companies right now, leaders are using old language to try to describe a future state and people can smell it. And so they're going, I don't believe you. The challenge already is that Gallup in this chapter, they talk about a survey where they say, the statement was, the mission or purpose of my organization makes me feel my job is important. Less than 30% said yes. But here's the deal. When you make this very clear to people and they really understand about the mission of the culture, they are clear is that we are artisans or we're trying to solve this problem. Absenteeism dropped significantly. Okay. Safety goes way up. Quality goes significantly up. I mean, we're talking 19% and up for quality. We're talking 40+% for safety. The issue being that all the company has to do is get very clear on what type of culture are we and why we as a culture exist. And so I really feel like this is going to be a big issue. This is going to be a question. I don't know that companies right now are ready to deal with the old understanding of what a culture should be and what it's going to be in the future. Because I don't think anybody knows. But instead of engaging that with honesty, they're kind of like tiptoeing around it. So broken culture, there's also some interesting symptoms there. What do you think? I guess my question to be this. One, who do you see or hear right now, maybe in your world or in others, that you're like, man, doing a good job with culture? What's some things that you're getting concerned about? You're like, man, we used to do this well, but we're not. What are the gaps you're trying to see? If you're a team leader, how real does the impact of culture on productivity feel to you? Because it can be anecdotal. right? It can be like, oh, and Gallup's employees engage. Gallup says engaged employees create productivity. Do you feel it when the team is happy and clear on the mission, the productivity goes up? Or do you not notice the difference at all? Who's doing culture really well? What are some of the gaps you're starting to see? Do you really feel that as a team leader, that the emotional state and engagement of your people impacts how effective they are at actually doing their jobs? Love to hear your perspective. See you guys next chapter.